We live in a very fast-paced modern world, and the last 100 years cannot be compared with in any other time in history as far as the advancements that we have made in technology and medicine, warfare, you name it. And I think there is a problem that is becoming more and more apparent, and it's an underlying problem in our communities, and that is the problem of us failing to link ourselves to the past. Now, obviously, I'm making a video here, so um, I don't advocate dwelling or staying in the past. That prevents progress, which is one of the reasons why we are alive on this earth, is to progress and learn. At the same time, we owe everything of who we are right now, what we've accomplished, we owe it to our predecessors, that which happened before. Um, and I see too often in our communities as we grow and develop and find new things, new projects to work on, we see a lot of our old buildings being brought down. Beautiful buildings. Many of them are architecturally unique, one of a kind. And for a community, I mean, if there's absolutely no chance of restoring an old abandoned building and it's falling in on itself, it is unsafe. I can see, I can see, going ahead with demolition efforts. But if there's even a hint of a possibility of salvaging that building, then is it not worth pursuing at least the debate for? And I know it probably sounds very petty to relate our past with a physical thing such as a building, but for a community, those buildings, those architecture buildings that many people have put so much effort in, so much care and love, many of those are they are a part of who they are. And so we in our community here in Shenandoah, Iowa, we have a debate about a certain building that is very historic in nature. It has it used to be an old mill building, okay, but it's very structurally unique in its shape. It is a very, very strong building, structurally sound, and it's interesting because this building is a part of who we are as a community. It is one of those things that links us to the past. It is one of those things that if you identify it as being linked to the past, it also projects your future. And that's an important part. We can have progress, and I think that we can have a greater pride in our progress if we take care of and acknowledge and restore when possible our old historic buildings. And And that goes for just not us here in Shenandoah, but this is for everybody. You know, this is a global thing. And because we have the ability to tear something down and create new plastic walls or uh, places designed with no effort for retail, uh, you know, what do we become? We've become a something that you put a price on. And, you know, I think it benefits business, it benefits the youth and everyone because it gives you a self identity. And that is something that we are missing out on in this world quite a bit is a self identity of who you are. Now, who you are as a person, that is something for each and every one of us to find out. But as a community, that is something that uh, you need to relay to your elected leaders and let them know, you know, what it means to you to be a community. And when these projects come up regarding, you know, should an old building be torn down or not, do your homework, find out if that building is salvageable, if it is sound, if you feel it qualifies as an identifier of your community, then let your elected officials know that you are in favor of restoring or renovating that building. And that is very important uh, because not only are you helping to save that building, but you are exercising your ability as a tax-paying citizen to voice yourself concerning your community. You're helping out the future. And, you know, the debate with this mill building, it is, I believe, 4 stories high. And obviously, most of the windows are broken. There are a few bricks on the top that are crumbling, but and those things affect the perception by the people, um, and it's very hard for people to look beyond. If you are going down any district or town, and you see an abandoned building, you see the effects of being abandoned. You probably see broken windows. You probably see bricks that are unkept. You'll see old paint just peeling off of it. And automatically in the mind, you're thinking, okay, it needs to be torn down because it's an eyesore. And when you think about it, that's a very irresponsible look at it. From a government standpoint, if a vacant building is no longer productive, it is not on the tax rolls, okay? It isn't bringing in any taxes for the town. And of course, the town's taxes goes to help the people. It helps the community projects. It helps everything. Now, if you tear a building down, you are striking all possibility of gaining any tax revenue from that property. Okay? And so it only benefits everybody that if a building is structurally sound at the base and it can be renovated, all efforts should be made to acquire the information and extend that to your elected officials so that they can make a wise decision as to whether or not to go ahead with that project to either demolish or restore a building. Um, because if you can restore a sound building, you make it cosmetically appealing, then you are inviting a business entity or maybe even a startup business to come in and to be able to bring that place back on the tax rolls of the community to make it productive, and then it's a win situation. Instead of losing all possibility of future monies, you have now put an investment into a building to make it a benefit to the community through taxes. So, and obviously the big part of the puzzle here is budgeting or financing a project of renovation, because those things can go easily into the hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. And so, there are various forms of financing, and it's important that every elected official does their homework. Every commerce organization does their homework to find maybe some grant financing, certain state benefit financing, such as TIF, tax incremental financing, things like that. Money is fluid. It really is. It's obviously in short supply, but money is fluid, which means it can be worked. It can be. There are ways of finding a solution to things, and it's the same thing with budget constraints. If you have a building that helps to define who you are as a community, that is structurally sound, that needs to be saved, if there is even so much as a vision of the possibilities of that building, then all efforts should and need to be made to bring that vision to pass. And so it is imperative that your elected officials gain all the information possible, especially regarding financing, so that they can make a sound decision, so that the voices of the people can be appeased, so that if you've acquired all the information and your judgment from that is, yes, this building is salvageable, I want to restore it as a part of my town's heritage, and I want to bring it back to something productive, so that the taxes that can come from it can go to benefit the people. If that becomes your elected official's decision, then with all the information you've acquired, you are then able to appease even the naysayers in the community. After you hear their side of it, you then come forth with the information that is privileged to you as an elected official to explain why you feel a certain way. That's how government is supposed to work. That is why we have elected officials. Okay? And so, I bring about this whole thing about associating yourself with the past, and I've dwelt mostly on you as a community. And technology is awesome, but it is so important that in order to take extra pride in your future, you need to prize the past.